So this is our agenda for today. So we'll just do a welcome from us as the Action Together team. We'll do a little bit about who is Action Together. There'll be a little poll just to ask how you heard about the virtual fair. You can just fill that in on here. And then we will have some presentations from local organisations. So we've got five. And then it'll be any other business, so stuff about our social media, how to sort of look for volunteering opportunities on our directory. And then we will do a thank you, questions, and close. So this is our volunteering team for Oldham, Action Together. So from left to right, we've got Josie Bades. She's our programs manager. We've got Alicia, who is on maternity right now, who's a volunteering officer. And then we've got Aga. She's also a volunteering officer who's based in the job centre in Oldham. We've got Lauren, who you've all seen, also a volunteering officer. Yasmin, also a volunteering officer, and myself, who is also a volunteering officer.
Super, thanks, Jess. So, just a little bit of information around who we are. So, Action Together is the infrastructure organisation for the voluntary, community, faith, and social enterprise sector in Oldham, Rochdale, and Tameside. So, they're the areas that we cover. And basically, what we do is we connect people with what's happening in the community. We help to develop community ideas into action, help to strengthen local organisations, and provide strategic influence for the charity and voluntary sector. So basically, what that means is we sort of support the groups behind the scenes, making sure the groups and charities have got access to everything they need so that they can run as best as they can, making sure they're connected with people in the community and making sure people in the community are accessing these groups and charities and their services and everything else that they provide. So within that, we've got the volunteering team who Jess just introduced to you guys. So what we do is we support people to access volunteering opportunities and we support the groups that want to promote and recruit volunteers. So doing things like this, like the virtual volunteer fairs, are a really good way to get you guys to hear about lots of different local opportunities that you can access and also support the groups to get the word out there so that you guys are aware of them and can get in touch if you want to. Okay, so just a quick poll, just to help us understand how you heard about the event and so we know where to promote it in the future. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but let's just have a little see if I can get it up for you guys. Okay, so more polls. Okay, Jess, does that come up for you? Super. Thank you guys. I'll just give it a couple more seconds because I think last time we asked this, we sent some flyers out about the fair, but nobody actually heard about it through flyers and it was all online. So it's good for us to know where you guys are learning about us. Okay, just give it a little bit longer if anyone else wants to answer. Okay. Okay, thank you so much to everybody that answered. If I just close this, I think. Oh, someone else answered. I'm scared to close it in case we get some more. Right, all right, guys, I'm gonna close it now. Thank you so much. Brilliant. So if I pull it back up for everyone. and- Is that viewing, Jess? Can you tell me? Because I can't see anyone.
It's still on just the virtual, the how did you hear? Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, okay, perfect. So brilliant. Over to you, Jess.
So, as I mentioned on the agenda, we'll be hearing from local organisations, and they're just going to give a 5 minute sort of chat about who they are, what they do, sort of a bit about their volunteering opportunities. So, we'll be hearing from Mahdlo Youth Zone first, and then it will be Saddleworth Players, Future Directions, Chadderton Together, and Homestart, Oldham, Stockport, and Tameside. I will be putting a little bit of information in the chat as well, just when each one is talking, just so you've got the information if needed.
Perfect. Thanks, Jess. Yeah, and so we're going to desperately try and keep it to the hour. So, guys, if I do interrupt maybe through the questions that we're running out of time, please don't be offended. But it'll be 5 minute presentation or 5 minute talk, however you want to do it, and then 5 minutes open to you guys who want to ask any questions. Okay, so let me kick us off. Mahdlo Youth Zone. I think it's is it Saika, if I
Yeah,
pronounce
it
that.
is. Hello,
Hi,
everybody. Nice to
Saika.
meet you all. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, my name is Saika. I work at Mahdlo. I'm the volunteer coordinator. I don't know. I'm hoping that everybody's heard of Mahdlo Youth Zone. So it's a youth zone. We're just based near Blue Coat School. So our membership age for young people starts at 8 years old all the way to 19 years old. Unless they've got additional needs, then it's still 25. And in Mahdlo, what we do is we provide a safe space where young people can come and engage in different activities. Most of the sessions are during the evening as well as the weekend. So we've got various sessions depending on the age. And now I'll talk about the volunteering opportunities. We have young leaders which starts at 16 plus once they have left secondary education. So once they've left school, they can apply for a young leaders position. And there are certain sessions for our young leaders, but once you're an adult volunteer, there's more kind of sessions available because the young leaders are still at membership age. Membership is till 19, and like I said, our young leaders scheme starts from 16 plus. We also do young leaders training on quite a regular basis where young people can do a course which they get a qualification, AQA qualification. So I think there's a lot of opportunities. I just want to emphasize at this moment, we just want to have a push on. We would like catering assistants, volunteering in that criteria. We're a bit short, and also we need van drivers. We've got a Mahdlo van where young people sometimes go on trips, etc. So them, there is slightly a bit of a demand in that area. If anybody's interested, or anybody that might be interested. But we have like I said, we've got several sessions available, and some of our sessions in the evening we have 100 plus young people that attend it. So it's hands-on experience. A lot of our young leaders at the moment are coming from Oldham College. We have a lot of young people that are on placements. So we have placement opportunities. We take on work experience young people, year 10s from school. So I think there's quite a lot, and it's hands-on experience. Every session in the evening, we have 100 plus young people that come to it. Different kind of young people from all different walks of path. So there's a lot of opportunities there, a lot to learn. Yeah.
Super. Thanks, Saika. Do you want to add anything else?
I could just tell you a bit about the process. So basically, anybody who's interested, the first stage is for them to fill in an application form. So that's kind of starts the process. After that, I normally arrange a meeting one-to-one with me, which is like an informal interview. It's like a discussion where I ask several questions, which kind of gives me a chance to get to know them. Basically why they're interested in volunteering, to make sure that, if they've got any requirements, we can accommodate them. So after that, I've normally book them on training, which is like an induction and safeguarding training. Obviously, Mahdlo, we deal with young people, so we're quite big on safeguarding. So they attend the training. 2 references are needed for all volunteers, unless they're coming from a college or a university, then they will give us the reference. But if they're not coming for a placement, then we need 2 references. A DBS, an enhanced DBS is required. And then after that, they can normally start. Yeah, so there is a bit of a process, the recruitment. But like I said, there's a lot of opportunities available.
Amazing. Thank you. And I think you've got quite a bit of information on your website, don't you? If anyone
We
wanted
do,
to read
yeah,
a little bit more, and you've got some information on our directory if anyone wanted to check that out as well. Um,
certainly, yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Does anybody want to ask Saika any questions? Should we see if we've got anything in the chat?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a few questions in the chat.
Perfect. Thanks, Yasmin. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Yasmin, I think you've asked the catering assistant age requirements.
16 plus once they've left school. As long as they've left secondary education, there's no age. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think
Thank
for
you.
catering, they will have to do a qualification, food hygiene qualification. I know somebody, I think they've just done it a few months ago. I don't know if I think she was 18. So like I said, they will get the training. Yeah.
Brilliant. Somebody's asked how to apply for the catering assistant.
Just
So
fill
I
in the application form and we'll start the process. I think on your website there should be my email address. It was put on. So email me. I'll send you an application form. We can get the process started. Yeah, definitely.
Saika, are you okay to pop either yours or if you've got a volunteering email address to pop it in the chat? And if anybody wanted to speak to you directly, they can.
Yep, I certainly can.
Amazing, thank you. And someone said that they're interested.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Brilliant. So yeah, if anyone wanted to catch up with Psycha separately, or check the rollout on their website or check the rollout on our directory, you guys can go for it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Does anybody want to unmute and ask anything before I move on?
With the catering, position, because somebody's wrote, I'm interested, just for them, just for information purposes, you'll be working, there's a till, so we have a small tuck shop, so they will have, they'll have that engagement with young people. So obviously you've got your customer skills that they'll gain from that area, and you'll be helping out in the kitchen at the back. So there's quite a lot. It's not just in the kitchen. They will eventually will be working in front, serving young people.
Brilliant. So a mixture of that
Yeah,
catering
there is. Yeah.
experience and then the customer service, which is always transferable, isn't it? So
It is,
fantastic.
and like I said, there's a till, there's a tuck shop, so and they've got that social skill and communication skills that they'll be building, confidence skills, working with young people, yeah, different ages.
Yeah. So cash handling as well, did you say a till?
Yeah, there will be cash handling, yeah.
Brilliant. Fantastic. It sounds like a really good opportunity.
It
So,
certainly is, yeah.
yep. So, yep, someone's just put how do you contact for an application? So just drop Psycho an email and
It's in the
someone,
chat, my email, yeah.
yeah, it's in the
Psycho.org
chat.
at madloyz.org, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Amazing. Okay, if no one's got any more questions, we can move on to the next group, which is Saddleworth Players. Do we have?
Hello there. Can
There
you
we
all
go.
see me?
Hi, Andrew.
Can everyone see me? I'm not sure.
I can.
All right. I just want to, well, I'm going to be running a bit blind here, so I'm going to see it. So hello. Can you, well, first of all, you can see me behind. Saddleworth Players is part of Millgate Arts Centre, and we are a community theatre in the heart of Saddleworth. What that means is we love theatre. So we have a big proper theatre, and I'll come on and talk about this. We do plays, we do films, we do concerts, and we do a pantomime. Oh, no, we don't. Oh, yes, we do. You've all been to the pantomime anyway. So we have a pantomime over December. We have about 140 shows a year and about 20,000 audience members. And we're a mixture of some professional shows, but also a lot of amateur shows. But the theatre is run purely by volunteers. Okay. So we have lots of opportunity for volunteers, and a lot of people who live in Saddleworth and Oldham know our theatre, but don't know we're a theatre. So what I'm going to do is actually show you. This is the theatre here. So I'm on the stage now. I can't see what you can see, but can you see it? Can we make it big? Is there any way we can get rid of the presentation and just make me big?
Now you're asking, Andrew. Let's test my IT skills.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe if I make
Right.
you
So
a co-host.
so otherwise we're going to be a little corner of everyone's
I think
If I stop sharing, and then will you come up a little bit bigger, maybe?
I've just found if I click on
Yeah.
the screen with Andrew.
Right. Good. So if I'm going to keep talking and you can see me, hopefully. So behind me, right, I'm on the stage. So I'm going to turn around. I'm going to make this big. So this is the stage. So you can see it here. So we've got the set that's being built for our next show. but more importantly, we've got lots of lights. You can see all the lights up here. But more importantly, this is a theatre. It's a proper theatre. Seats 160 people. And we've got lighting, we've got sound, we've got amplifiers. So if you're interested, I'm going to give you a walk around here, okay, so you can see it. So this is the entrance. We go into down the corridor, but more importantly, here is where you come into the theatre. So here's our entrance. You can see it. It's a big, proper theatre. We have a bar downstairs, which is a big bar. I'm going up to the top here, so you can see the theatre. I feel like Annika Rice. This is showing my age, definitely. So here we go. Right, and then here, you can see the theatre. This is the stage from the top of the theatre. Okay, so we have loads of opportunities for volunteers. If you can act, we have acting opportunities, and we audition all of our plays. And if you're interested in auditioning, contact us on Saddleworth Players at millgateartscentre.co.uk. We also need technical people, backstage people, and again, do the same. But we also need front of house people. And our front of house people are really important because we need lots of them for all our shows. And it's a great opportunity to get involved in the theatre and being part of a big community. So,
Is he frozen for everybody else?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, dear. Andrew, I don't know if you can hear us, but that was so fantastic, and now it's gone. Oh, no, maybe he's lost. Can you hear us, Andrew?
I think he's just rejoining. It might have gone off.
Ah, okay. Let me see him.
Is he back?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, have you got him?
Yeah.
Andrew, are you back?
You're still muted, Andrew.
there we are.
There we are.
So, have you got any questions?
Let's have a look in the chat, guys. Okay. You got some wows, Andrew, some amazing.
Come to the theatre. Even if you don't
Yeah.
volunteer, come along and see the theatre if you haven't seen the theatre. So we're in
Someone's
Delft, which
asking-
is
Go on, sorry, Andrew.
we're in Delft, and we're actually, we think, one of the highest theatres in the country. So
Oh,
right at the top
really?
of the Pennines. Yeah, and we're in Oldham. Yay.
Woohoo! Fantastic. So, Andrew, people are just asking, are you on your phone? So people are just asking if you can pop your details in. It's okay if you can't, because I think I've got it. It's the Saddleworth Players, isn't it?
It's just called, I'll put it on the chat. Okay.
Oh, perfect. So
Okay.
people can get in touch with you. And have you got quite a lot of flexibility, Andrew, around days that people can volunteer, and is it all through the week?
Well, they're basically when we have a show.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need to be prepared to work evenings because that's when we do most of our shows. And they tend to be when people go to the theatre. So mostly weekends. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Does
But
anyone
you
want
can,
to-
I think the best thing to do is to, if you're interested, get in touch with us and come along to one of our training sessions. Okay, so the next training session is we have them 5 times a year. We've got one in April, we've got one in June, And then we've got an open day, which is going to be, I think, the 21st of June, where you can come and have a good look around the stage and see a show as well.
Super. Thanks, Andrew. Someone's just asked if you could just quickly, they missed the types of volunteer roles. Could you
So
just
we have volunteer roles for front of house is the big one, I think. So that's a really easy way. You can do one night or 2 nights, and 1 show or 2 shows, but you get trained to you're welcoming people into the theatre, making sure they can find their seats, selling ice creams at the interval and those sort of things. We also have people who get involved in shows, so that involves some technical skills, and we also have people. All our actors are actually volunteers as well. So if you want to act, you can come to an audition and get cast in one of the shows as well. So there's lots of opportunities, but also we need people who are good administrators as well. So if you're interested in just being an administrator, which sounds awful, doesn't it? But actually, if you've got skills, then that's really useful. So building sets. So if you can build a set, if you're a carpenter or someone who's good with their hands, we do set building during the day.
Amazing.
But I think the best thing is our open day is Sunday, the 21st of June. And we have 2 other training sessions, which I'll add to the details. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Andrew. There's quite a variety there. So something for a lot of people, I would imagine. Creative.
You can get involved in theatre in lots of ways. Yeah.
Yes. Lovely. And thank you for the tour. We've never had anyone do a tour like that on any of our virtual volunteer fairs. So that was a first and we loved it. So thank you.
Well, it's theatre, isn't it? It's got to be a bit dramatic.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing.
All right.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
very much, everyone. Bye.
See you, Andrew. Amazing. Okay. So we'll move on to the next group. And don't think I mentioned if anyone is age 16 to 17 on the event at the minute, Mahdlo were the only group that were promoting roles for under 18. So more than welcome to stay if you wanted to hear about some opportunities for the future. But if you were just interested in the roles that you could apply for now, feel free to drop off if you want to, just so you're aware. Okay, so I'll pull it back up now, guys. And then hopefully. Okay. We have the wonderful future directions next. Okie dokie. So, Lindsay, are you there?
Hi, I'm here.
Hi, Lindsay. Take it away.
Lovely. Hello, everyone. I don't know if you might have heard of us before. I work for Future Directions. We're based in Chadderton, so our office is there just off Broadway. But we actually work right across Greater Manchester up towards Preston. And our role is supporting adults with learning disabilities, autism, and complex mental health needs living across the Northwest. And basically what we try to do is support people to live the best lives that they can in whatever way that might look like for them. So we have a number of people who live in Oldham, right across from Shaw, to Chadderton, to more around the centre of Oldham. And we're always looking for people to either become kind of a befriender. So, to get to know someone, to perhaps go and see somebody who might be a little bit lonely, or somebody who's just looking for a friend, someone who's looking, to get to know people. And that could be, based on a shared hobby or shared interest. We try and kind of match people up. Sounds a little bit like a dating profile, really, but when we have volunteers apply, we try and find someone who has similar interests and who, is quite likely to get along well with any volunteers that sign up. We also have roles for volunteer drivers as well. So some people that we support, maybe not all their staff will be able to drive, and they might have a mobility car, or they might, be looking for somebody to use their own car to drive them. It can be on things like days out, It could be going on trips like Chester Zoo or to Blackpool. That's always a popular one. And the great thing about that is that you get to go as well and have a really nice time with the people that you're supporting. Volunteers are always accompanied by staff as well. You wouldn't be kind of put in a position where you'd be having to, look after somebody in the way that the staff would, because obviously you're a volunteer. You'd be there to, kind of have a nice time and build a friendship with somebody rather than act as a member of staff. But that being said, roles like being a volunteer driver or a volunteer befriender, many of our staff have started out in those roles. If some people have had a career change, some people have come to us with no experience, no work experience before, thinking they might like a job as a support worker or a care worker. Started working with somebody as a volunteer, got to know them well, and ended up securing a permanent job at the end of it, which is great because it's, everybody's happy then, the person being supported and the person who started out as a volunteer. There's many benefits to volunteering, and I say that as a volunteer myself as well. I work here, but I also volunteer in my local community in Oldham, litter picking and getting involved in community groups, because it's just a really nice way to get to know people, isn't it? But we really try and look after our volunteers at Future Directions with the support of Action Together and your volunteer fund that you offer out every year. We put on events. We have as many kind of thank you events as we can squeeze into a year. Usually at our cafe and community hub in Rochdale. And again, the benefits of volunteering include gaining experience, getting to know people, getting a new perspective on life as well. I think it's a big part of working with the people that we do, that have the needs that they have. Going on, nice days out, going to places that you might not have considered going yourself, can be another benefit as well. And I'd really recommend it. Obviously, I'm biased because I work there, but it's a really nice place to work. The training's excellent as well. So if care work or support work was something that you were looking at going into, we have excellent autism and learning disability training, and it's actually delivered by the people that we support, which I think makes us, a little bit different from other places. We've been doing that for a long time, so I think that getting to know people who you'll be supporting during the training really makes a big difference. I will put the website and the volunteering email address in the chat as well. We're very friendly, so please do drop us a line. And what we probably do, we'll get to know you, we'll give you a ring or see if you fancy coming meeting us for a brew, and then we'll have a talk through the whole process of applying and kind of, the area you'd like to work in and that kind of thing.
Amazing. Oh. Thanks, Lindsay. That was fantastic. And I think we actually meet a lot of people when we're doing our one-to-ones, don't we, Jess, that are interested in that supportive kind of experience and maybe want to do some care work in the future. And the befriending role sounds fantastic, getting those skills of like building rapport with people and supporting them one-on-one and in person. It's fantastic. So I think hopefully there's some people on the call that find that really interesting, and get in touch with Lindsay. She's popped her details in the chat. Does anyone want to ask any questions? Should we look in the chat? What have we got, Jess?
Just questions around how to apply, obviously asking for the email address, which is now in there.
Yeah, just share now. That will come straight through to me as well. So any questions at all, there's no such thing as a stupid question. I'll share our website as well, so you can have a look as well that we do.
Perfect. Does anyone want to unmute and ask anything before I move on?
I have a question, if that's okay.
Of course it is, Jess.
How sort of like regular are the volunteers? Is it like every week, every month, or does it just change based on the person they might be supporting?
It can be, yeah, very flexible on that front. Some people volunteer, some people volunteer a couple of days a week. Some people it might be just say when we have an event on, when somebody's going for a day out. So it can be very infrequent or it can be regular, whatever
Yeah.
works for kind of both people involved.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Someone's just asked what days are available, so I think you've answered that. Very flexible. So I suppose they can just have a chat with you, Lindsay, can't they? Tell you when they're
Yeah,
available, and you can make it work and fit it with who you was already supporting and stuff like that.
exactly. We operate, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week because we're supporting people in homes. So yeah, the hours can be kind of any time that works for the volunteer and the people that are being supported as well.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Lindsay. Thank you. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Okay. So if everybody's ready, we'll move on. Let's see if it'll let me do it. To Chadderton Together. So we've got Graham and Mags. Graham and Mags, are you there? Do you want to unmute? I think you're muted. Graham, I think your mic's muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there we go.
Right. We've got that double echo again. Right, we'll do our best. We're from Chadderton Together, Langton Graham, and we're a charity community group. And we operate throughout Chadderton, holding events and activities for the benefit and health and well-being of Chadderton residents. Two big things in our life at the moment are the restoration of Foxdenton Hall in Foxdenton Park. Can anybody else hear the double echo?
No, everything
Oh,
sounds good
gosh.
to me.
Well, we can. It's terrible. And we have funding from the Heritage Lottery, and there will be opportunities of volunteering in a couple of years when that's restored. But right now, we operate a not-for-profit cafe called Lydia's Tea Room, where all the proceeds do go towards the restoration of the hall. So that's the background to Chadderton Together. And Mags has more information about the volunteering roles.
I'm afraid it's going to be a lot less than what I wanted to say due to this horrendous echo. It's awful. So we run Lydia's Tea Room with volunteers, with a team of volunteers, Wednesday to Sunday. And we have several age groups working for us at the moment, from 19 to 84. So it's quite a varied selection of people. And we've had different types of people in the past. For example, immigrants, refugees, where the sort of work's really helpful to them, to help them in the world of work, to enhance their language skills, to get them used to speaking to, lots of customers. So that's useful. We've had different cultures, haven't we, over the years? We have also several events over the years that our volunteers help us with. We have a big event in July, Chadderton Together, in Foxdenton Park. So our volunteers get lots of experience in that as well. We have a couple of kids who are 14 doing Duke of Edinburgh Awards, and they're finding it useful. They're not allowed in the kitchen due to their age, but again, they're using their social skills. 14-year-olds are generally very shy, but they're finding it really beneficial to help them enhance their skills. We've also had lots of people in the past that have had personality disorders or spectrum disorders, and one lad in particular was autistic, and it's brought him completely out of his shell. His confidence has zoomed. In fact, we made him a supervisor. So it's been wonderful for him. And there's been a couple of other people like him suffering from autism. So they can learn several skills. They can do a bit of catering if they want, making simple sandwiches. They can operate the tills, or they can just stick to table clearing, delivering orders, stacking food within the dishwasher. So there's lots of different practical skills on offer. I think did I tell you about the age group? I can't remember. They're from 19 to 84 years old. So it's a pretty varied bunch. And we're a very friendly, sociable community hub. So we have different demographics, elderly people, young mums, especially dog walkers. We've got quite an eclectic mix of customers. And I don't think I can. We do have, by the way, a volunteer open day tomorrow within Lydia's tea room, and that's from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So anybody can come along, have a cup of tea or coffee and a cake on us, and they can just have a look round and see if it might appeal to them. And I think that's all I've got to say. The sound, the bounce back of the sound is so off-putting.
Oh, well, you sounded perfect to us, Mags. I didn't hear
All right,
any
thank
bounce
you.
back, so don't worry. And that sounds
Thank you.
lovely. Some really good information, and obviously some really good hands-on catering experience if anyone was interested in Lydia's tea room. And it's good timing that you're on the virtual fair and then you've got the volunteer open day. So if anyone's interested in that, drop down and see them. Fantastic. So let's see if we've got any questions for you guys. Okay.
There's nothing in the chat yet.
No, does anyone want to unmute and ask anything? I guess, Mags, if someone was interested, how would they go about it? Would they ring you up? Do you send an application form? Do you invite them in?
Generally, we invite them in. I always give my telephone number.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to make a note of it. It's 07712 743 161. And then they can just call into Lydia's tea room within Foxdenton Park in Chadderton.
Amazing. Amazing. Have you guys got an email address that if anyone wanted to contact you by email, I can pop it in the chat?
It's a bit contentious at the moment.
Yeah.
We're in between email providers, so Graham will give them his personal one.
For me, it's Graham Taylor. That's GRAHAM, no space, and then a number 7 at gmail.com.
Okay. Did I spell that right? Graham Taylor 7 at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So if anyone's interested and wants to arrange a call or just ask some questions, drop Graham in an email. Okie dokie. If no one's got any more questions.
I think somebody is asking for the telephone again, please.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to say it again for me, guys? And I'll type it in.
07712
Yeah.
743 161.
Amazing. There we go, guys. So you've got a telephone number and an email address, however you prefer. Perfect.
There's just a couple of questions around where the tea room is, if you don't mind sharing.
It's the address is Lydia's Tea Room. It's in Foxdenton Park on Foxdenton Lane. The postcode is OL9 9QS. S for sugar. And there's a free car park directly opposite the park gates.
That's great. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. Thanks, Yasmin. You beat me to it. Perfect. Okay. Lovely. Well, thank you so much, guys. And we'll move on to the next group. The final group, actually. That's gone quick. So if you're ready, we've got Layla from Home Start.
Yeah, that's right.
Fantastic. So there you go, all yours.
Hi, everybody. It's been so nice hearing about all these amazing opportunities. It just sounds so good. I've been looking at everyone's websites as we've gone along. which is also really great. Anyway, so I'm from Home Start. So we cover quite a lot of Greater Manchester. I don't know if anyone's heard of Home Start before. We're a family support charity, so we support families. Yeah, you've just popped it in the chat, so that's great. Yeah, across Oldham, Townside, Stockport, Bolton, and Glossop, and I think we also do some work in Bury and Rochdale as well now. Um, but yeah, there's quite a lot going on in Oldham in terms of volunteering. We've got different projects, and in sort of the projects vary depending on which area you're in, but I think most of them are actually in Oldham. So it does mean there's a lot of different opportunities for different people depending on what you're looking for. So we support families with children up to the age of 5. And it can just kind of, supporting people for lots of different reasons. Um, so the first thing I suppose I would mention is the family support side. So similar to what sorry, I've forgotten whose name it was from Future Directions was saying about befriending kind of service. So that's one of the things that we would offer to families who might be feeling a bit lonely or isolated, maybe struggling to get out and about, not sure where to take the children and things like that. And we, in a similar way as you said, like matchmaking, we try and match our volunteers with families depending on what it is that they're struggling in and what they want to, what kind of support they would like. So you'd be matched with a family, and you would go and visit them once a week for about 2 hours a week, and just support them however they want to be supported. It might be just somebody to talk to, um, at home. It might be helping them to kind of think about routines that they might want in place if they've got children at home and they're struggling to get a routine in place. It might be getting out and about and accessing local groups or signing up to the local library, things like that people might not have the confidence or the knowledge to kind of do themselves, or might be feeling a bit overwhelmed with how to go about these things. So you would support your family like that. And so the idea is you'd go once a week for a couple of hours, and that might be for a few weeks, or it might be over a longer period of time. But you always get this ongoing support from your coordinator, who you'd be allocated, just to make sure that everybody's getting, that it's working for everybody, basically. So that's the family support side. Then we've got group work. So we do run some of our own groups across Oldham. So kind of if you think like peer support groups or parent and baby groups. Now we've just taken on somebody to run these groups. There's 2 or 3 in different areas across Oldham, and they usually run at the family hubs. I just forget off the top of my head where they are because they've just moved location. But they're really, really good, and it's just families bringing the kids who would like to just get out and about a bit more and meet other parents, but also a safe place for the children to kind of interact and play with other children as well. And there's the peer support groups. They do offer some support to the parents as well, so always try and signpost and support them. For support outside perhaps of what our service might offer. So we might signpost to some of these other charities that I've heard about here, you know. So volunteers would come along and just work in those groups alongside a member of staff. So you never left on your own to run a group on your own. You'd always be with somebody, and you'd just be helping out. So it might be making drinks and refreshments, or it might actually just be playing with the children, or it might be working with, just speaking to the parents actually, and just letting them talk and offload a little bit, which is often why people come to these sessions. Yeah, so family support, the group work, and then we've got Play, Learn, Grow. So this is also group work, but it's a set number of sessions. So I think it's 6 to 8 sessions for parents with the children, and it's all about school readiness. So it would be structured sessions, and it'll be working on exercises with families to help children practice their motor skills, or mark making and drawing and things like that, or it might be stacking toys one week. Different kind of skills that just really great to help children learn. So it's like learning through play. And our volunteers, they're really great fun, those sessions, because you're helping the parents and the children kind of make the most of the activity. So that's a good one. Then we've got infant feeding as well. So the infant feeding team it's supporting new parents with any aspect of feeding the children. So it might be quite often it's breastfeeding or mixed feeding, breast and bottle, but we do support bottle feeding families as well. And a lot of that really is just listening and helping parents get to where they want to be with the feeding choices. That's really lovely. That's the team that I work on, infant feeding. So I spend a lot of my time with newborn babies, which is just amazing. And talking to those families and kind of just picking through those early days of when you're trying to decide, how you want to feed your baby and how that works for you. Um, so our volunteers on infant feeding will help support us in our breastfeeding support groups, but we can get people up on the um, ward at the hospital postnatally, so you can support people literally just after they've had the baby. We run antenatal classes as well for families around, and we do the infant feeding week in Oldham. So some of our volunteers will come with us and help deliver those sessions. So that's the infant feeding role. And then we've got Dad Matters as well. So for any dads who want to do sort of that kind of work that I've sort of been talking about, working with families, but specifically with dads and partners, yeah, they can do that. Dads do a lot of, I think they do a lot more kind of like walk and talks and things like that, because um supporting dads sometimes looks different to supporting mums. But they're a really, really great team to be involved with. We do have a baby bank and a charity shop as well, and we're always looking for volunteers for those. They're both based in Tameside, so I don't know if they're a bit more of a trek to get to, particularly the charity shop, because that's in Hyde. The baby bank's in Audenshaw. But yeah, kind of, packing and organising the stuff in both of those places for parcels to go out to families, or working sort of behind the till in the charity shop. But yeah, so we welcome applications from anyone for any of those kind of roles. Is that clear? Have I explained what the different volunteer roles look like? Is there any questions?
That was really clear to me, Layla. It seems like you've got a really good mix and variety of different roles for
Yeah,
people.
and some of them suit people who've been parents themselves. Some are just open to anybody who wants to help support families. So we try and consider everybody and think about what you can bring. We've had some great. I used to run some of the groups myself, and had some amazing volunteers that weren't parents themselves, but were just like so great with the children in the groups, which was really good as well. Um,
Sorry,
yeah.
Leila, there's somebody in the chat who's again asking for the voluntary roles that you guys offer. So maybe in just a
What did you say? Did you say you just wanted to quickly go through them again, Yasmin?
yeah, maybe in a tiny bit, because Nahida has mentioned that what voluntary roles do you offer? She might have missed them.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll try and go through just the voluntary roles and all the different projects. So we've got the befriending service. If you want to work one-to-one with a family, so it would just be yourself going into a family's home, like home visiting. You'd be matched with a family, to ensure that you're gonna sort of, click and get along. And so that would be working directly with one family in their home, or taking them out and about, and that would be about once a week. Then the group work is usually once a week, but actually if we've got lots of group volunteers, you can maybe do once a fortnight, or just whatever kind of algorithm fits. And that's working in kind of a parent and baby group, listening to families, supporting them, letting them have an offload and a chat, or playing with the children. So that would be in group work. Play, learn, grow is the kind of the school readiness learn through play sessions. So they're structured sessions for about 6 to 8 weeks in different community settings, and you would support a member of staff running those sessions. And then we've got the infant feeding volunteers. So they work in, you do have to have breastfeeding experience if you want to do that one. And it's peer support. So it would be working in groups or on the postnatal ward at the hospital. And dad matters. Yeah, if you're a dad and you want to support other dads, you can apply for that.
That was impressive, Layla, to run back through them.
I was supposed to have a second person with me today who's going to do half of
Oh,
it, but she's not here. So I was like, don't worry, I can remember everything. I can go through everything. So I do apologize
yeah.
if it's not totally clear.
No, it was clear. It was clear. Someone's just asking. So it's around DBS because they'll be working
Yeah.
with children. Do you guys sort all the DBS
Yeah, we
out?
do. Yeah, yeah. So the process is quite similar to what some of the others have said. So you can apply through our website. So I'll put our website address up. Just go to the volunteering section, and then it brings up all the different work areas. So you just click which one or several different areas of volunteering you might be interested in. Someone will phone you, and we'll arrange for someone to come out and have like an informal kind of chat discussion around what you want to get out of it. You don't necessarily have to have had any experience before, but for some of the roles lend themselves better to people who might have had experience bringing up children, whether that's your own children or stepchildren or something. And then we offer training. So each different project has its own training package, which you can sign up to which one suits you. There's a safeguarding session which we have to do with you, and then we'll do your DBS, enhanced DBS check as well. So everybody's kind of armed to start. So there is a bit of a training process, but it's really good again, to gain some experience. Different is and you can gain a lot of experience, that will kind of lend itself well to other kind of job roles that you might want to apply for. So, for example, on infant feeding, we have a lot of people that might want to go and be a support worker at a hospital or, family support worker in different contexts and things. So, yeah, you can,
Yeah, I
we can
think you
provide
might have
everything.
answered. I think you've answered a few questions in one there, Layla, from the chat. But if I've missed anything, Jess, Yasmin, feel free to shout out. People are just asking for your contact details. If you've got a general email, are you okay to just pop it in there?
Yes, so that's the website if you want to copy and paste it. And then I'll put the general email, but then I'll put mine as well. So if anyone wants just to contact me directly, I can point you in the right direction. Hang on, it's Homestar.
And somebody has also mentioned in the chat that what if they already have a DBS? Would that be a plus, do you think?
Yes. So I think the thing is with the DBSs is they have to be. So we always do the enhanced check for adults and children. So quite often people have their own DBS and they come with it. If it's on the update service, I think we can just check it, or if you can show it to us. I think but if you've not, you might have an enhanced one, but it might just be for children or just for adults, and it has to be for both. So, but if it's not, I've done quite a few myself. We've just finished an infant feeding course, and we've done quite a few. And some people have got different DBSs for the different organisations they're in, but you don't have to pay for it. We cover the cost of that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry to if any questions haven't been answered, feel free to get in touch with Layla directly
Please
and
do, yeah.
ask her. I'm just thinking we've only got 4 minutes left, and I don't want to keep everybody too late on a Wednesday evening. But yeah, drop an email to Layla if you do have any more questions, and we'll just do a quick close for everyone, and then I'll let everybody get on their way. So, Jess, I think over to you. Yep, perfect.
So yeah, that's the end of all the presentations from the organisations that we have today. So if there's any further questions, please get in touch with us at the volunteering team, and the email is there on the slide. It's volunteeringactiontogether.org.uk. You can also give us a ring as well, and one of us will be there to answer. There's also our Facebook group. So this is a good place to sort of keep up with general like new roles, or if there's some updates about the local area. It's a good way to get involved. And obviously for the organisations in the group, we can advertise your roles on there as well. So it's just a good way to keep updated with what's going on.
Also, the e-bulletin, I think everybody would have got the steps to sort of get this mailing when you registered for this event. There's some information on how to get that mailing sent to you, and that gets sent out every month. Very similar, so we usually spotlight some roles in the area, updated news, stuff going on in the local community, maybe some bits about what we've been doing Action Together as well. So that's also a nice way to keep updated with us.
Perfect. Thanks, Jess. Yeah, and if you just register to volunteer via the website, you're probably receiving the e-bulletin already. And maybe there's a one-off event going on where they need volunteers. Maybe you don't want to do a regular volunteer role. You can hear about some one-off stuff in there. So yeah, just like Jess said, a really good place to find out what's going on in the local area and what you can get connected with. Okay. Yeah, so if you are interested in any of the roles, some of them are on the directory. You've got the contact details if you want to contact them. If you're interested in sort of volunteering more generally and you want to look at what else is out there, head to the directory. I think we've got close to 100 roles in Oldham. You can browse it. If you want any support, get in touch with us. We can help go through things with you. We can bounce some ideas and do a one-to-one with you if you want that in person or on the phone. And we have our volunteer drop-in hubs. So we've got one in Oldham Central Library. Jess, remind me which day of the month that is?
So it's the first Tuesday of every month.
Amazing.
And we're 10 till 1.
Fantastic. And I am at Royton Library if anyone lives in that area and wants to pop in. I'm the fourth Friday of every month from 10 till 1 as well. But if you want to check the dates out, head to the website. They're under the Oldham page and then volunteering. But also you can just drop us an email and we'll let you know.